So Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales is the fifth iteration of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. And I know this franchise gets a lot of hate for what it is regarding the last three films made. See, the first one's considered a great movie. I love it. I consider it a great movie. It's one of my, I wouldn't say one of my favorite movies of all time, but it's a fun adventure movie that took itself seriously. And over the course of the franchise, I think the movies took itself less and less seriously. However, people have described the first three movies as a guilty pleasure of theirs, but I don't see it as a guilty pleasure. The first movie is great. The second movie I think is awesome. And the third movie, I do agree, gets a little goofy. I think it wraps everything up nicely. However, the fourth movie is not my cup of tea. I don't like that movie very much. It basically, to me, abandoned everything that Pirates was with Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann. And basically they just forgot everything and didn't include it. Well, how did this movie come out, and how do they get back, and do they succeed? I would say kinda. In my opinion, this is what Pirates 4 should have been. See, Pirates 4 didn't deal with the Will Turner aspect, and then now we're jumping right back into it. So it seems like, why did Pirates 4 ever exist? And I can't give you an answer. I think that movie sucks, kinda. But this movie is, I would say, the fourth best Pirates, in my opinion. But that's someone who likes the original trilogy for what it is. But let's start with the good stuff in this movie. One of the great things about this movie is that the villain of the movie, Captain Salazar, is a good villain. I liked him. He was better than Blackbeard, in my opinion, from the fourth movie. Maybe at times better than Davy Jones, even though the threat didn't seem real, but we'll get into that a little more later. So overall, I think he was a solid villain. Also, this movie is hilarious. I was laughing the whole time. It's fun. It's a funny movie. And that's another great positive thing. It's just a fun, dumb summer blockbuster movie. It's not the best Pirates. It's not the best movie. But it's a fun adventure. It's a good 2-hour movie that is just fun to watch. Another thing is, this isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailers. They do include Elizabeth and Will in this. And like I said previously, that's a positive for me because I hate when franchises just ignore characters and don't bring them back, or bring them back from nowhere like X-Men does all the time. Now for the negatives. It does include Will and Elizabeth, but not as much as I personally would like. There's so many times where you could have Will pop up and help Jack and his son on this adventure. Elizabeth is down to a cameo, and she doesn't even say anything. And I think they missed the opportunity there to have the original three characters back from the original trilogy and really do something good with this. Another thing is, in the other movies, Jack always seemed to have a plan. In this one, he doesn't. He's drunk 90% of the movie and is a cartoon character where he'll just be walking along and things are missing him, or he just happens to land on something and be safe. But it's not the way it is in the original, where it was his plan. This is really just a drunk idiot on a ride, and everybody else around him is helping him better. And for my final point, what really disappoints me about this movie the most, I think, is there was too much CGI. Now, I'm not talking about the ghosts or anything, or when it was needed to be. I'm talking about like when they're on the ship. You can tell they're on a green screen on a ship. It's not like the original trilogy where they had people on the actual boats and they were filming on actual locations. It seemed like a cheap excuse to not have people actually in the Caribbean. Now, I know they filmed there and everything, but there's just some shots, I don't know if it's reshoots or what, but it just doesn't look right. The thing I dislike most about this movie is the tone. Now, where the first three movies really took itself seriously, this one doesn't. It follows suit with the fourth. You see, in the first three, the pirates actually acted like pirates, and when they fought people, they stabbed them to kill them. Where in this movie, every single fight scene with the good guys ends up with the good guy punching the bad guy in the face, whether it be with the butt of his sword or another object. And to me, that's really stupid. It's watering down characters who we once loved as pirates. I think it's the wrong way to go with this watered down version to make it a little safer, and more kid-friendly. But it just doesn't fit watching all the movies together, whereas the first one is so serious for as much as it can be. In this movie, it just seems a little dumber. And that's where this movie really suffers for me. So should you see this movie? If you like Pirates of the Caribbean, I say yes. It's fun to watch. I enjoyed it more than most people, I think, but it's not as good as the first three, but it's better than the fourth. So take that as you will. I'm gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10. Um, I'd go see it. I think it's worth the price of admission. It's a 2-hour dumb fun summer blockbuster. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.